Hello everybody, welcome to this instruction video. This video is for the gauge swatch, gauge flower of the Natural History CAL. This CAL has been designed by Christina from A Spoonful of Yarn and is the Scheepjes CAL2020, in which we'll be making a beautiful floral blanket. The yarn that I'm using is Scheepjes stonewashed yarn. I've got one of the stonewash kits, but you can also have one of the color crafter kits. So check your kit exactly which color is which number, because that really is important in this project, because there are different versions available. In this video I'll show you exactly how to make the first part of the pattern, which is also the gauge swatch. Round 1, you have color 3 and 4mm hook, or actually hook A I should say. If you have a color craft package it will be a different size. I'm going to start with the magic ring. So I'm going to fold the yarn over, underneath, grab that thread and grab it again and pull through. Oh no, I've just closed that loop too little. There we go. If you prefer you can also do a starting chain and closing with the slip stitch, but the pattern says a magic ring. Chain 3. This counts as your first treble, and now in the ring 11 more trebles. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, until you have 11, 7, 8, and pull a bit more, 8, 9, 10, and this is the last one, 11. So with that starting chain 3 you now have 12. Grab the yarn tail, the starting yarn tail here, and then pull this ring closed. And don't pull too tight, because I have had this this yarn tail just snap off if you pull it too tight. So pull that ring closed and then close here on the starting chain 3. So there's a starting chain 3 on the top of that. Close with a slip stitch. There we go. And now you're ready for round 2. Round 2, going to work a treble in every stitch and chain ones in between. So start with a chain 4, 2, 3. The first 3 chains is the treble, and then you need chain 1. And now you're going to work a treble in the next stitch and chain 1, and then a treble in the next stitch and chain 1. Continue like this until you're all the way around. Then I'll just show you how to close again. So treble in the next stitch and then a chain 1. Almost round. Chain 1. I have one last treble to do. This stitch here. Chain 1. And now you're going to close on the 3rd chain, because remember we made 4 chains here, but the last one is the chain 1 space. So if you look here at your 4 chains, you're going to go to the 3rd chain, insert your hook in there. So you still have this 1 chain left to form the space. And then close with a slip stitch at the beginning. So on that 3rd chain. I'm going to cut yarn and open up. There we go. Round 3, I have color 2 on my hook with a slip knot, and we're going to start in any chain space, any chain 1 space, and we're going to work 3 trebles in every chain space. I'm just going to start in this space. It really doesn't matter where you start. And we're going to start with a standing treble. So I'm just going to yarn over on my hook and hold on to these loops. Insert your hook and then work the first treble. Work 2 more trebles in the same space. So 1 and 2. Now we're going to start the repeat again. Come to the next chain space and work 3 trebles in there. So 1, 2, 3. Repeat this all the way around. Work 3 trebles in every chain space. I'm going to see you back when I'm at this point just to show you how to close on that standing stitch. Just at the end of round 3, and I want to show you how to close. If you look here at the standing stitch, you see there at the top, you see here's the slip knot, and then right next to it is the stitch. Then in that stitch, just next to the slip knot, insert your hook and close with a slip stitch. The slip knot will now fall to the back of your work. Now you're ready for round 4. Round 4, I'm going to continue with the same color. I'm going to start with a chain 1. This chain 1 does not count as a stitch. We're now going to work in between the groups of 3 trebles that we worked. So you see here, there's this natural space kind of between the 3 trebles. It's just exactly above the trebles from a few rows down. That's the space where we're going to be working. Now the first, I'm going to work a double crochet between the 3 treble groups that we just worked. So we're kind of going to come down, and in that chain space there, or that's not really a chain space, it's more like a space, work a double crochet. Now I'm going to skip the 3 trebles and come to the next opening here. It's kind of an opening. I'm going to work 6 trebles in there, and this is also the start of our repeat. So in there work 6 trebles. That's 1. It's going to be like a little shell. 2, 3, 4, 5. 6. I've got those 6 trebles in that between the 3 treble groups. Now come to the next space between 3 treble groups. Okay, so if you just push your finger in there, you see that space, or opening I should say, and in there work a double crochet. And this you're going to repeat all the way around. So work a shell and then work a double. I'll show you the repeat once more, and then you can do the rest without me. I'll just show you the closing at the end. So in the next opening here, work 6 trebles for a new shell. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Here I've got the 6 trebles, and now come to the next opening between 3 treble groups and work a double crochet in there. Going to repeat this all the way around. You've now done 2, you need to do 4 more, and then I'll see you after you've worked those last 6 trebles in that space, and then I'll show you just how to close the round. When you're all the way around, you'll have your 6 trebles here, and then the next space already contains that very first double crochet we made, and you're going to close on that first double crochet with a slip stitch. So just insert your hook into the stitch and close. You can cut your yarn fasten off, and then we're ready for the next round. Round 5. I have color 3 on my hook with a slip knot, and we're going to start, let me just show you, in the space after a treble shell but before the double. So you see here's the treble shell, and you see here's the double crochet, and if you kind of pull this open, you'll see here where my finger is poking through, in that space, so in there, that's where we're going to work. And likewise there's also a space on the other side of the double crochet, that space there. These are the two spaces where we're going to be poking our hook into. It doesn't matter where you start, so any position. And we're going to start with a standing double crochet, so that means the yarn's on my hook. So insert your hook in this space. So if you just pull your fabric open, you'll see this space here. So it's before the double, so that space. And pick up the loop and complete the double crochet. Now we're going to start our repeat unit. Just chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and now come to the, you're going to skip the double crochet that's here, and then come to the next space. So that's the space where my finger is trying to poke through. So that space, insert your hook and work a double crochet in that space. We're now going to work back post half trebles around the 6 trebles that make up the shell. And the first one can be a bit tricky. I'm going to yarn over for the half treble, then come around that first treble. And that first one is often the most difficult. So around that first treble, so that's a back post, half treble. Yarn over and come around the next one. This is all still a bit small and fiddly, I know. That's 2. And this is 3. This here is 4. You've got 2 more trebles to go. 4. So it's around the post of the stitch. 4. And this one here is 5. Oh, sorry, 6. I just lost count. There we go. 6. So around the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You see those back post stitches. This really gives you this nice little edge. We're now going to work a double crochet again, and we're again going to work it in actually in the same relative position as that one. Yeah, so in this space, that's so there where my finger is poking through again. So in that same position between the shell and the first double, your next double there, work a double crochet. And this double is in essence the same as that one. So that means everything you've just done, so starting at the chain 3, repeat that all the way around. And when you're here, after you've worked your last back post, you're going to close on your standing stitch, and you're going to do that in the same way as before. You're going to close on your standing stitch here with a slip stitch, and then you can cut your yarn. When you're at the end of round 5, work away your yarn tails, which I've already done here, so it looks nice and neat. Work away your yarn tails so we can look at size. When you're at the end of round 5, you've finished your gauge swatch. And at this point it's important to see what size you have. Now your gauge swatch, I'm just going to extend my tape measure. I should measure for the stone wash, because I've got the stone washed here. Should measure about 9 centimeters. So to find the thickest part, Let me put it that way, because if you measure the thinner parts, of course, going to be a bit different. And that should be about 9 centimeters. Now, I'm spot on gauge here, so I'm really happy with this. If you have a color crafter kit, this will be about 10 centimeters, so your work will be just slightly larger. But for the stone wash, it should be about 9 centimeters. This gauge swatch, these are the first 5 rounds of the pattern, so don't throw this away. You're going to continue with this for the rest of the pattern as well. That brings us to the end of this video in which we made the gauge swatch. Next week we'll continue with the rest of the blanket.